If you're someone who has been fasting, but you're wondering why you still haven't gotten the results yet, it's because there are many people that still do mistakes when fasting. And here's the 5 biggest mistakes in intermittent fasting. Hi everyone, welcome back to our healthy channel, Triple H, how to become happy and healthy. And with me, Dr. Hans, as your nutritionist and working on functional medicine. Now I'm gonna tell you about the 5 biggest mistakes in intermittent fasting. First of all, we need to know why do people fast? Because many people have different reasons, why do start fasting. Maybe they heard that it's good, by what is good, it's different to many people, right? So why do people fast? I give you some of reason that it's common reasons. First thing, I think you know that many people want to lose weight. I'm not saying that there is no one that want to gain weight, but looking for our society, there are people that obese, overweight, and they want to lose weight. One of the method is by doing fasting. The second thing is many people has problem with their blood sugar, diabetes, metabolic disease and stuff. And one of the reason why people do fast is because they want to lower their blood sugar. Then some people want to do fast for their longevity, to improve their quality of life and stuff. And then people want to because they think not eating, I think it's simple, right? So it's the simplest diet, maybe one of is intermittent fasting. So people do it for simplicity. Some say that it the minimalism, and I think there are quite a lot of people do fast because of religious stuff as well, or maybe it's one of the belief that pretty common in this world. I'm not saying about which religion, but there are many people that do it for their own belief. So if we are talking about fasting, what is the simple definition? It's not eating. And yes, that's right. Many people think that fasting is as simple as not eating. But unfortunately, fasting is not that simple. First thing that you need to know that fasting is different to starving. So fasting is totally different to starving unless you have no food reserves anymore. But if you take a look in our society, there are many people that has many food reserves. Yes, what I meant is their body fat. So it's a subcutaneous fat, then a visceral fat, and etc. So all the fat that we bring every day in our tummy, in our body, it's our food reserves, and we need to use it. We just can't burn it without we use it, right? So one of the way to use it is by doing fasting. So who needs to fast? First, I think you know, what I mentioned before, people who obese. So obese is another level of overweight. So obese is classified as a disease. So I think if you are classified as obese, one of the easiest thing to do is to fast, but not just fast. We will talk about it in a minute. Then the second thing, who needs to fast is people who has neurodegenerative disease. What is neurodegenerative disease? If you ever heard about Alzheimer, Parkinson, then any kind of brain disease like a stroke. So it's a neurodegenerative disease. Then people who has a hormonal imbalance, there are many hormonal that interfere our body, our metabolism, cortisol, insulin, leptin, then etc. etc. So all the hormonal imbalance include a PCOS, endometriosis and stuff. We need to balance our hormonal, and one of the way is by doing fasting. Then prevent any kind of diseases, like start with like malnutrition, then like neurodegenerative, as I mentioned before, then a hormonal disease. So there are many diseases that like classified as a metabolic disease, and there are many studies that has been proved by doing fast we can balance our hormonal. And then last but not least is to improve our quality of life. So I think longevity is not that good if you don't have the good quality of life. So if you just like have a long age but like you don't have that quality, I think you can't enjoy your life, right? So if you're talking about intermittent fasting, it has like two windows at least, which is like a fasting window and feeding window. So many people know intermittent fasting as simple as not eating and eating, yeah, what we call about fasting and feeding, or maybe feasting, some people say it. There are many types of intermittent fasting, and we started from like a 16 and 8. So 16 like in the fasting window and 8 in a feeding window. Then we improve it, we increase it to the 18-9, so 18 fasting window and 6 in the feeding window. Then we upgrade it to the 20 and 4, and we upgrade it to the 22 and 2. So, and that's what I'm doing now, the 22 hours of fasting and 2 hours of feeding. And of course, I don't do it like just like in a glimpse. I do fast. I've been do fast for like since 2016. So it's been like approximately 7 years until now. So if it's that simple, just like a feeding window and like a fasting window, why is it so complicated? Like why there are many people haven't gotten the results yet, even though they can do the fast for like a 20 or maybe like me 22 hours. It's because there are many people that still haven't realized that they do mistakes when they do fast. So what is the mistakes? Here is I make it like the 5 biggest mistakes that commonly happen when people do intermittent fasting. Ready for that? And the first reasons, and I think like this is like the biggest one, is eating unhealthy food. So what is unhealthy food? But before we touch into what is unhealthy food, I want to talk about like the false mindset that many people have, which is people commonly use fasting as an excuse to eat unhealthy food. Because I've been doing fast for like 18, 20, 22 hours. So this is like my revenge by eating anything that I want, like a cookie, pizza, burger, like any kind of like ultra processed food, like fried chicken or a chicken nugget or sausages or anything. So if you treat your body like so, it will make your hormonal disrupt. Not just hormonal, your neurotransmitter, your like digestive, your microbiome or anything. So it will be like a chaos if you treat your body by taking that kind of food. Why? Because many people still like a trap in a calories mindset. And I oftentimes say that calories is different to nutrition. So many people like said that junk food is like empty calorie food. I'm not really agree about it, because like I count that junk food is actually empty nutrition. It's not empty calorie. So many people like overfed, but they're under nutrition. And again, this unhealthy food that I called about like junk food and stuff, it acts as an hormonal disruptor in our body. So it's not just like about the calories. Yes, calorie does matter, of course. Calorie does matter. I'm not saying that calorie don't count at all, but before you count about the calorie, I think you need to know about like what is the impact of the food that you put in your mouth into your hormonal balance in your body. So that's what I called hormonal disruptor, because nowadays there are many food that like can disrupt our hormone by maybe they don't have like a too high, like too much calorie, but they really disrupt your hormonal. And then the second thing is like maybe this is like the opposite, like eating too little during eating window. Well, I could understand there are many people maybe like you will like a loss of your appetite when you're too fast for a pretty long time, if you are like adapt into your fasting, and it could be the problem as well, because if you are like eating too little, it could like lead you to malnourished, which is like what I mean by malnourished is not just about the calories, which is it's only the macro, but also the micronutrients. And moreover, now there are many people that like talk about the phytonutrients, and yes, it does important as well, just like macro and micro, but eating too little can lead to this condition. But the good things, I can tell that when you do fast, you will spike your growth hormone, which is it will act as muscle sparing protein. So if there are many people that concerned about like how could I fulfill my protein intake if I like do the long period of fast, well, the good thing, it will like make your growth hormone as a muscle sparing protein, so you don't have to really worry about it unless you just like fulfill half or maybe like a 1/3 in your daily need protein. Then the food distribution is like I think it's the thing that you need to pay attention as well, because if you couldn't eat like just like me 1 meal a day, and I don't suggest all people like follow what I do, because like many people have different preference, have different habit. So I think if you just distribute your food into 2 or 3 times maximum per day, I think it will be okay. Just don't like grazing or eating in every 2 or 3 hours. The third mistakes that many people commonly do is like drink beverages that contain a lot of calories. But how much is a lot? Because like it will be like your first question, right? How about like 60, like 100, below 100 or stuff like? Well, based on many studies, I can tell you, but a lot of calories that like count as a lot is more than 50 calories.
I'm not saying that if you drink like a 49 calories that it will be okay.
So again, health is about spectrum. It's not about like a right or wrong, black or white. So what I mean by more than 50 calories, we need to like avoid drink that like contain high calories. So if you can like drink less, it will be better. It count not only about the sugar, but also the total carbs, because like many drinks like they claim at a sugar free, but they still contain carbs. Even like a whey protein, many of my patients ask me, how about whey protein? It's a protein, right? So it must be healthy. Well, I'm not talking about the healthy or unhealthy, but the calories does count it. Is counted. If you drink like a protein, like or any kind of protein drink, it's still counted as a not fasting. And also fat, you need to really pay attention, like a bulletproof coffee and stuff. I think you need to like be more aware about the liquid calories that you put into your mouth. And because eating are different to drinking, like our brain is like designed to have that mechanic stuff. So if you're eating, of course, like our brain is easily, even we like eat below 50 calories, it will trigger your brain to sense that you are eating something. So if you're eating something, like your pancreas will be like a stimulate to produce enzyme, to produce hormone that like are ready to digest your food. And well, it's not fasting, right? So I think like by drinking some of the beverages that like contain low calories, such as like a tea, coffee, infused water, sparkling water, apple cider vinegar, so all is good as long as they have no sugar inside it. And number 4 is not staying hydrated. What I mean by hydrated is not just about water, but our body liquid, because that's totally different. Liquid is like one of the most important is electrolyte. So in our body, it's like a sodium, potassium, magnesium, calcium, chloride, and etc. And our daily need intake is about like a 30 to 40 milliliters per kilograms body weight. So if you're like a count with the pounds, you just like convert it into pound, but I just put it here 30 to 40 milliliters per kilograms. And what is the effect? What is the bad if you have like a low hydration or not staying hydrated? The most common symptom is like you will feel fatigue, you will feel headache, you will feel dizziness, and also constipation. And last thing that you need to really avoid when you do fast is eating too much before bed. Maybe many people think about like it will be like your food will turn or convert into fat. It's not that easy. I think you are like a smart. So it's not about the calorie. It's not about like you just like have no activities, then your food like turn into fat. Not that easy, right? The problem when you're eating too much like before bed, it would like trigger spike your acid reflux, which it can like make many of my patients like experience like a developing GERD. Yes, gastroesophageal reflux disease. So when you are like laying on your bed, it will like you will against the gravity, and it can like exaggerate if you are already have GERD before, and it can like develop acid reflux if you are like keep doing it like many times, especially if you do OMAD. Then it would like cause or trigger insomnia, hard to sleep, hard to breathe and stuff. And one more thing that commonly happen when people like eating too close before bed is they will feel so hungry in the morning. So this is a thing that I think like you have to avoid, because if you're hungry in the morning, you will struggle with your fast. You hardly to fast on the next day, and yes, it's not good, right? If you're struggling, you can enjoy your fasting moment on the day or a long day. So I hope you can enjoy it. You can like work on it, and I'll see you on the next video.